Okay, so I'm recording it. Alright, so the two journal entries, one is for the sales, yeah, another one for the movement of the inventory. So when the inventory is taken out from the stock, you sell it, so you have to record it accordingly, yeah. Okay, so you say that the merchandise that is cost 18,000 is taken out. So initially it's in the inventory. It was debited in the inventory because it is an asset. So when it's taken out, it's credit lah. So what would be the debit? The debit is actually the cost of sales. Yeah, we have to put it as the cost of sales, means that we debit cost of sales or cost of goods sold lah. Yeah. But merchandise usually we use the word cost of sales. Cost of goods sold will be mostly used in manufacturing. Yeah, later on we will look at it in the other chapter lah. So usually for merchandise we say cost of sales. Yeah. Merchandise inventory credit, cost of sales debit. Okay, yeah. So understand these two. All right. So we know that this must be recorded. Okay, let's look at the other one. Look at button. Okay, button ada difference. Not different. Something extra. Um, we sell the merchandise that is costing 3,500. That means the cost of sales is 3,500 for 6,000. That means the amount of sales to the customer is 600. Yeah. So credit terms given is 210 and 30. Now let's prepare the journal entry. Okay, remember these two journal entries is on 8th of June. So even if they have discount, the customer pay before 10 days, it's after 8th of June. The event will happen after 10 of 9 after 8th of June. So on 8th of June you have to you have to do the journal entry that happened on 8th of June, which is the sales itself and the movement of the inventory. Same like what we did just now, yeah. So the sales, like we already did just now, you look at the sales amount, it's 6,000. So accounts receivable, 6,000, sales, 6,000. And the cost of sales is the amount that the value of the value of the inventory cost lah, yeah, in the stock. Yeah, so we say that okay, the 3,500 stock has been taken out to sell. So we debit cost of sales and credit merchandise inventory. All right. Now the next thing, let's say the customer pay to you, yeah, to button lah. So who can guess what can you do? Okay, ataupun what will happen when they receive cash. Okay, the check is basically we consider as payment lah, yeah, cash payment. Yeah. Receive the check for 5,880 because the customer will benefit ataupun will enjoy the discount of 2%. So it's already calculated here lah. So what do we do? Okay, how much is what is the first debit that you can see here, or you can put it here? The most obvious one is cash. Okay, that's good. Thank you, Afira. Thank you, everyone. So that means you receive cash. Of course, you will debit cash lah, yeah. And the accounts receivable. Okay, it's actually to reverse. Yeah, we credit the accounts receivable because this customer already paid, so you have to knock off. We call it knock off. We have to knock off the accounts receivable to make it zero lah. I mean the one that is 6,000 just now. Because we already received the amount of payment which is due by this ataupun which is due from this customer. So the total 6,000 will be reduced ataupun will be knocked off that credit account receivable. So what happened to the 2% discount? Okay, remember, yeah, this is our sales. So it's not the same with the discount that you get from your supplier that we done before. When we did the supplier side, I mean we did the discount, that we received from the supplier, you reduce the amount of inventory, right? Yeah, we credit the merchandise inventory because the amount is the amount of stock is still the same, but the price is reduced because of the discount. But if you are the supplier and you are doing sales, journal entries, sales transaction with your customer, this is the discount that you give to your customer. So it's the difference, the other side lah. That means the opposite side. So now you are the supplier, you give discount to the customer. Okay, so when you give discount to the customer and the customer benefit the discount 2% because they sell, sorry, they pay before they 10. So uh if you okay, before that, I go back to this previous. So the amount of sales that you recorded is 6,000. So this is your revenue already, right? On 8th of June, you record 6,000. So this is the revenue. When you receive, sorry, when the customer enjoy the discount, that means he will pay less 2%, right? That means your sales amount should also be deducted ataupun be reduced. So in order to reduce the sales from 6,000 to 5,880 just now, you have to create one account named sales discount, and this is actually will be shown in your profit and loss. When you put revenue at the top or sales at the top, the next line would be minus sales discount. That shows your amount of sales is deducted ataupun is reduced by the amount of discount. Yeah, so this is shown in your profit and loss. And this sales discount is also one of the item that you should consider as the debit item in your profit and loss. Okay, what are the other debit item in your profit and loss? Sama dengan all the expenses lah, ya. But even though you don't put it under the expenses punya area, the apa tu, di bawah, ya, when you minus all the expenses, it should be on the top, but it's under sales. That means it's reducing the sales lah, ya. But it's still considered the debit item of debit and credit, profit and loss. And at the end, later on, we will have to close the account. Remember, because it does not, this kind of item does not carry balance to the next period. Yeah, so okay, that's just to tell you that this should be closed later on lah. Yeah, we are doing the closing account later. This is one of the debit item, sales discount. Nanti kita akan include sekali. But in terms of journal entries, this is what you have to do lah. Okay, first you debit the amount cash that you receive. You cannot debit cash 6,000 because you only receive 5,880. And accounts receivable, jangan silap. These are the most students do this mistake. They put credit accounts receivable 5,880. Wrong, yeah, because we want to knock off all the accounts receivable that we created on the 8th of June, because you don't want to have any more balance, because there's no more balance. And what I mean is the customer does not have any amount due anymore to you, with you, because they receive discount. So please, don't forget, this is 6,000, not 5,880. So not the cash amount that you receive. Okay, any questions in this part? Boleh kan? Sales discount, so you have to make sure whether it is sales discount or is it purchase discount? Because later when you get your case or your question for exam or for your project later on, you can see project apa we talk about project later. your final lah, ya, your question, the amount would be on the list of long list of item. So you have to determine which one is sales discount. Baca betul-betul. Is it sales discount or is it purchase discount? Yeah. If you get it wrong, then it will be the other way around lah, opposite kan. Yeah. Okay, so then now let's look at another one. Sorry. Okay, let's look at sales return pula. Okay, bukan not only us can return to our supplier, but our customer can also return the merchandise to us. It can happen. So what can we do, or what are the transaction that we have to do when the customer return your product ataupun your sales. Okay, let's look at button here. First, you record the transaction that happened on the day of sales. Itu biasalah, ya. So they sell 7,500 with the cost of 400 pula. 7,500 with the cost of 4,000. So that one yang biasalah, ya. AR 7,500, sales 7,575, and then cost of sales 4,000, merchandise inventory 4,000. Now, let's say this person ataupun this customer return 800, the amount of inventory that was sold with the price of 800. Okay, macam tadi, the amount of discount was reduced from the amount of sales that we made earlier. Same here. Yeah, same here. You have to reduce the amount of return, from the sales that we did earlier. However, the credit yang tu you kena faham lah, ya. When the customer return to us, return the merchandise to us, usually what do we do? Usually this one is also one what we have to say, assumption lah, ya. Kita kena assume that the company won't throw it away. The amount that is returned will be sent back to the stock inventory. So that means it will add up back to the inventory. So we have to assume that. Okay, right. So what happened? First, you record the reduction, or we call it the reverse entry tadi lah. First, sales returns and allowance will be debited. This is also a debit item for your sales, for your profit and loss. So it will also be under the sales items, bawah sales lah, tolak sales return and allowance. Sama juga betul tadi, minus sales discount. Okay, they will be in the profit and loss. So debit sales return and allowance 800. However, you have to reverse. You have to reverse the AR because you know the customer won't pay anymore. So you have to reduce this 800. They won't pay the 800 anymore. So the amount that you expect them to pay now is only tadi tu berapa, 75 kan, minus 800. The amount of the account receivable will be reduced by 800. So you credit accounts receivable. Okay, now about the movement of the inventory. Like I said, using perpetual system, you have to record the in and out. The in and out doesn't mean only purchase and sales. Return would be in as well lah. Because when the customer return, the merchandise is put back into the stock. So you have to debit back the merchandise inventory and reverse back the cost of sales that you already recorded earlier. Yeah. So this is the apa? The the journal entry for the return goods placed back in the inventory. Okay. So maybe you takut ni kan actually you have to understand, but if you have to, you misal takut lupa, uh, you can actually try to memorize. Ini memorize in terms of nak make sure that you don't get it wrong lah. But the most important thing is you understand why you have to debit inventory, why you have to credit cost of sales, and the first one, why you have to debit returns, why you have to credit accounts receivable. If you understand, you don't need to basically memorize lah, ya. Tapi that's fine if you still also have to memorize, ya. But make sure if you memorize, you also understand. Taklah tulis besar-besar dekat dinding, ya, lekat dekat ceiling, ya. When you want to fall asleep, look, okay, for return, this is the for sales discount, this is the journal entries, yeah. So you probably, for a start maybe boleh lah, ya, gitu. Okay. So, like I said, in terms of the apa tu, the amount of the cash that they pay, okay, bila mereka akan bayar nanti, when they pay less than 10 days, they get the discount. So the discount must be based on the amount that you already minus the return, which is 6,700. Bukannya 7,500. Okay, your discount should be 2% of 6,700, not 2% from 7,500, because when they pay on June, they already returned the 800. It has to be not included. So that means the discount is only 134. And after you minus the discount, the cash that the customer will have to pay is only 6,566. Yeah. So the cash is debited 6,566, and accounts receivable, which is the remaining after you minus the return, is 6,700, and the discount is 134. And yang ni because just now the sales discount is different because you don't reduce the AR, so it should be deducted at full amount. Yang ini because you reduce the AR, it should be the reduced amount of sales ataupun accounts receivable tadilah. So meaning that you have to knock off 6,700, and at the end kalau nak check balik, you check whether the accounts receivable already zero lah, from the sales that was done in June 8 just now. So make sure it has no more amount due from that particular customer. Sebab dia dah bayar semua lah. Alright. Okay, so basically this is just to wrap up. Okay, these are the trial balance. Okay, just go back. Just go straight to closing entry. Like I said just now, closing entry kita nak kena kumpulkan all the debit item. This is where I mentioned just now. All the debit item into income summary. Kita totalkan dia. So if you look here, sales discount and sales return allowance are debit item in your income summary, together with cost of goods sold and all the expenses, totaling up to 323,800, and it will be to close it, you have to debit sales and credit income summary. Okay, and when the sorry, yang ini tadi kita transferkan dia ke income summary to close the credit balance. Sorry, ini untuk credit balance ya, untuk sales. Sorry. Kita ada dua ya. There are two items that you should close. One credit item of the profit and loss. One is the debit item of the profit and loss. So credit item of profit and loss only one. Tak banyak, satu saja, which is sales. Yeah, only sales. So there are only two closing entry that you have to make. Yeah, one to close credit balance, another one to close the debit balance. Sorry, yes, I silap tadi. This is not the debit balance. So to close the credit balance, you have to debit the sales because it's it's originally credit, right? Sales, right? So you have to reverse it, input the debit, and you create an account named income summary. So it should be on your credit side on income summary account. Alright. For debit balance item, ni lah. Yang tadi tu saya tersilap. Yang ni lah ya. So, if you look at a profit and loss, debit balance item only, credit balance item only sales. Tapi debit balance item, all the rest lah. Including sales discount, sales allowance, cost of goods sold ataupun cost of sales, and all the expenses. So what do you do here actually? You reverse sepatutnya ya, sebab kita kata kita nak close. So you reverse lah. You reverse it to income summary. So just now, when you saw sales tadi, kita debit sales, credit income summary, right? So for debit item pula, kita credit all the debit item and debit income summary. Basically, what you're doing is to actually know what is your profit amount. Yeah. Okay. Saya tunjukkan. If you see here, you actually, okay, tadi yang sales tadi we put it here, right? The amount of all the expenses ataupun all the debit item totaling up to 310,900 is your debit item. So you put it in this side. So basically you are just trying to know what is your profit. Okay, that is also can be used ataupun can be done in your profit and loss. Tetapi this is actually one step that you have to make in order for you to close all these items in your profit and loss so that they don't carry balance. Itu tujuan dia. When you debit, firstly just now it's all in debit, right? So now you credit all the sales discount, sales return, cost of sales. So if you look at the individual ledger for sales discount, individual ledger for sales return, individual ledger for cost of sales, individual ledger for all the expenses, you have zero balance. Betul ya? So meaning that all these individual items does not carry any balance to the next ni lah ya, to the next period. Kalau sekarang 2020, 2021 dia tak ada balance kan, because you already closed them. This is the reason why you do closing balance. Otherwise, it's still hanging there. Kan? Ya? Kalau you tak buat ni, all these item, even the cost of goods ataupun cost of sales, ya, will have amount. Ya? Balance. Tak boleh lah macam tu. Another one, the credit item just now, sales. We credit sales, but where is the debit? What is the debit? So you cannot just leave it there. You cannot have a balance of sales berapa-berapa and then nak bawa pergi ke depan. Cannot. So you have to close it. The amount should be put in income summary, yeah, just to make it zero lah. So this income summary tells you that you have your balance. Balance pula. Your this one is profit lah kan, ya, sebab the amount of sales is bigger than amount of all the other items, ya, debit item in income summary. Basically, that amount, apa jadi pula 12,900 tu? This one actually you know already, because last time when we talk about statement of equity, right? You will carry ataupun you will post the amount of profit that happened on that year. So this is where you take the 12,900 and credit it to capital, which is to close the income summary account and to pindahkan apa ya? To transfer the amount of the profit to the capital for that year. So nanti bila you buat apa income equity statement of equity tu the at the end of December 31st you actually include the amount for income for that year. So basically you don't even you will you will show it in your capital, maknanya dia ditambah di dalam capital, right? So your income summary now becomes zero lah, because you already credit it to your you pindahkan ke capital lah, ya. The amount just now is credit, so you debit income summary and credit to capital. Another thing, jangan lupa withdrawals. Withdrawal also have to pindahkan to capital. So what you do is withdrawal is debit item. So tadi you tak masukkan tadi kita tak include semua all the amount in the income summary. It should be separated. So when you close the withdrawal, you credit withdrawal and debit it to capital. So withdrawal also cannot have any balance. Okay, that's it. Right. So just to wrap up, ada dua type of profit and loss that you can present. One, we call it multiple step. Multiple step dia asingkan it separate between operating expenses dengan general and administrative expenses. Operating expenses are those expenses that have connection ataupun have relationship with sales. However, general and administrative expenses usually tak berapa berkaitan dengan sales lah. Contohnya insurance, rent, salary, supplies, So basically ini terasingkan dalam multiple step. But if you are doing single step, bolehlah letak semua sekali expenses, tak perlu asingkan. So basically you can just put one line. So never mind, yang ini kita boleh lihat for other, maybe we can try some questions so you can practice it lah. It's just a matter of how to present your statement of profit and loss, either single step or multiple step. Okay, I think that's all. Yang ni yang ni cuma classified statement of financial position, just to show you that the merchandise inventory is a debit ataupun is an asset lah. So you have to put it under current asset. Yang lain semua sama lah, you already know. Okay, I guess that's all. So maybe I can leave you with your election today. I'm not sure whether you have done it or not. So you can continue with your election. So okay, that's we finish. Done. Okay, good. Azmi. Cepat Okay. So tak apalah. Because I promised that we will stop early today. It's already 11:08. Okay. So any questions before we stop? This is the end of chapter 6 lah. Tak ada apa-apa. Okay, I just want to mention to you that actually we have one we have to, if you notice lah in your syllabus, kita akan ada satu project. So project is a group work. Okay, so you probably need to find your group mates now lah. So you all boleh WhatsApp ke sendiri. One group would have about 4 or 5 people. Okay, get your group mates first. Then the question will be given basically after, maybe I will give somewhere after this class lah. Tapi dia nanti saya akan cerita sedikit lah next class on what is the project about. Basically the project is just like one of the questions in your final exam. It's just that you have quite a long case, so more more items to 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 consider lah ataupun to solve, and it also includes the apa tu after you done this chapter, chapter 5 and 6 is included where you have to do some analysis, analysis on the financial statement. Yang itu kita tak belajar lagi. So if I give you earlier, you can probably do the one that apa tu yang dah belajar lah, which is your merchandise uh, uh, accounting, yang itu termasuk juga lah. Yang termasuk ialah chapter 4, 5, 6, 7, sampai analysis of financial statement. So chapter 1 to 3 sampai tak masuk dah, 1 to 3 already excluded from the project because you've done your mid semester exam. So the project is until chapter financial analysis, and then nanti final start from manufacturing lah, manufacturing sampai habis, sampai end of the syllabus. Alright, I guess that's all. Tak apa, nanti we will discuss this more later. Alright. Okay, thank you. I will stop this and I'll show if anybody wants to okay, if anybody wants to scan, I have to go back again. Alah, kenapa dia? Tak boleh ke? Tak boleh. Sekejap. Kena buka lain. Okay, the rest kalau dah settle, you leave the class. Thank you so much. See you next class. Alright. Thank you.
Doktor, tolong add saya manual doktor. I dah message doktor dia tak nampak.
Sorry. Tadi saya cakap seorang-seorang. Siapa tadi yang cakap dengan saya tu?
Nah,
Ketina. Ketina. Okay, dah. Ketina, saya dah add dah.
Okay, thank
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, Kak Shaula pun saya dah add. Jordan ni pergi mana ni? Tak apa, saya dah add dah. Alright, thank you. Saya end ya.